In this video right here, we are gonna compare and put these two lenses side by side. This is the classic Sony 10 to 18mm, one of my all-time favorites, and then this one, a fairly new Sony 10 to 20mm. Which one is better, you know? So if you just take a quick look at the build quality between these two lenses, then you can see that the 10 to 18mm is slightly bigger and is a little bit heavier too, but this one, the newer lens, has a power zoom, so it doesn't change sizes, while when you zoom the old one, the 10 to 18, it will change sizes a little bit. The thread is the same, so you have the same diameter here, and I do think that the overall build quality on this feels a little bit sturdier, this feels a little bit plasticky. However, this is weather sealed and all that good stuff, so it is durable and super nice. I'm not totally sure if this one is weather sealed, but I've used it in crazy conditions and it's been one of my most used lenses, so it's performed well, and it has, you know, stabilized, so it has optical steady shot, so it's stabilized too, which this one is not. So yeah, I'll let you explore this a little bit more. You can look it up on the internet, and let's throw up a little bit more footage on these two lenses, you know. The key difference really between these two lenses is that the 10 to 20 is slightly smaller, it has a power zoom so it doesn't change sizes, and has a little tighter focal length too, so it's you know, at 20mm, while the 10 to 18 is only to 18, but it's not a huge, it is not a lot of more, you know, focal length that you get there. It does change in sizes, so it's not a power zoom, if that is something like that you're concerned with. It's slightly bigger, slightly heavier, and also it has OSS, optical steady shot, which I think makes this really a fantastic lens, and that's why I've been using it so much. It's been my go-to vlog lens, like for the APS-C system since like I started with APS-C back in 2016, you know. So it's been that for a long time, and even now that I'm using a lot of full frame too, it does work well on full frame as well. So I use this as a vlog lens too on the, you know, Sony A7 IV. I'm not totally sure if this works on full frame. Let's try it out in a second, but yeah, there are a little bit more key differences too. I have wrote down here. The minimal focus distance is slightly shorter on this. It's 0.13 meters on this one, I think. So it's, yeah, 0.13, while here is 0.25. So I've always thought that the minimum focus distance on this one is pretty, you know, good, which makes like you're able to get pretty decent bokeh, considering that this is like both of them are stuck on f4. So that's the minimum focus that you can get there. So it's like constant on f4. It's not stuck there. You can go to f16 or whatever you're allowed to. But that's the minimum f-stop that you can get. But still you're able to get like decent bokeh because you can get so close. But on this one, the newer one, you can actually get closer, which I think is pretty cool. And then yes, of course, this one is weather sealed. However, I've never had problems with this, but don't take my word for it. If you know, ruin your gear, don't come to me crying and said like, hey, that Icelandic guy told me it's okay. I'm just a YouTuber, you know? So this footage that you're seeing right now is shot on the 10 to 18mm on the ZV-E10. And by the way, all the B-roll that you've been seeing is also shot on the ZV-E10. Now, this is without the active stabilization on, and it looks something like this here. What do you think? It's pretty good. This is like usually my go-to, you know, vlog scenario. And if I want to punch in, I can always punch in to emphasize on what I'm saying, you know? Like the like button. So now I have active stabilization on, plus this is the 10 to 18, so it also has OSS. You can see that it cropped in a whole lot, but this should be pretty steady, right? Now I can vlog really, and you wouldn't get that motion sickness, right? I mean, this is steady. I like this. This looks pretty nice, but you don't get this super wide angle that we would get otherwise, but it's nice. I like it. So let's put the new 10 to 18. Let's put the new 10 to 20mm on, which does not have OSS, and see if we see a huge difference, okay? So this here is the new 10-20 with the active stabilization on. I think it works pretty decently, right? I don't know if you see a huge difference from before, but it looks, I mean, on this small screen here, it looks okay. It looks usable. Now let's take the active stabilization on and see how the vlogging scenario will be with it like that. So this here, much wider. We have 10mm without the active stabilization on, but how is it vlogging with this? Is it a huge difference? It seems like it's shaking a little bit here in the corner, but I mean, it's definitely usable. Maybe if I do a full 10-minute videos of me talking like this, you will probably get a little bit motion sickness, but I think this could work too. So if size, like if you care a lot about, if you care about size, then maybe you should go with the smaller one here. I don't know, it's up to you. This setup that you're looking at right now is the 10-18mm on a full frame. And I really like this because you can see that it is compatible with a full frame system, and it's really small too, and you can use it here. However, we're at 10mm and the edges, you can see when I come close, the edges are slightly distorted, you can see that. But if you just punch in a little bit to around, let's say, where are we now, like 14, this looks better and it's not as distorted like the corners here, and it's still like a fantastic vlog lens. And a full frame has, you know, in-body stabilization within the full frame, and then on top of the lens too, making this a very nice vlogging setup in my opinion, and I use it a lot for that too. Now I have no idea if the 10-20 is, you can use it on full frame, so let's check it out. We're doing a little experimentation here, and yes, while I have your attention, if you could please smack that like button for me, then you know, helping me out. Thank you for that. So this here is the 10-20mm on a full frame camera, and it seems to work. I mean, we're at 10mm now, so we still have some like pretty crazy distortions in it. We still have some crazy distortions here, but let's punch in a tiny bit, like to 40mm here, and this like looks better. It's not as distorted in the corners. But this setup is crazy small. This is even smaller than with the 10-18. I like this. I would definitely use this as a vlogging setup. So if I'm walking, I mean, this looks pretty good. Wow. I'm impressed. I like it. I like it, you know. This is a super nice lens too. Which one would I choose? If we're choosing now, I honestly don't know, you know. But let's go into the review and the focus distance on this one is crazy. It's very short, and you can see like this nice bokeh. Imagine if all my videos were like this, or like, hey everybody, my name is Arnolfur. Silly, you know. By now you're probably wondering which one of these, my Icelandic friend, do you recommend? Honestly, this is tough. I'm not totally sure. Like this, the 10-18 has been one of my all-time favorites. I've used it, as I said before, so much, especially on the APS-C system, and even here on the full frame system, I'm still using it. Really do recommend it. This one, I haven't really tested out. This is the first time me testing it out. I haven't even looked at it on the computer yet, just a little bit here on the small screen that I have there. So I'm not totally sure there. But what did you think? You saw that we threw up, you know, side by side. Did you see any huge difference in the, you know, maybe the sharpness or the, you know, the quality of the images that these two produces? That might be something that you have to consider too. Also, like, does size matter to you? Then that might also be something that you have to consider, you know. Do you want to have power zoom? Or do you want it to change the sizes slightly, you know? And then again, do you prefer to have optical steady shot, or do you want to have it not? That are the questions that I would ask myself if I were to choose this lens right now. I can't really decide for you. You have to, you know, think for yourself and make up your own mind. But at least you've seen now a pretty, I think, a pretty detailed comparison. There are people that make more detailed comparison for sure, but which do you like more? Let me know in the comments down below. I love to interact with you guys and just see what you guys are thinking. Was it necessary for Sony to make a 10-20 when they already had 10-18? Don't know. I mean, I always do appreciate new lenses, you know, so it's pretty nice indeed. But yeah, think there's no need to have this video any longer. It's always fun to hang out with you. If you have any questions, as always, free to ask and comment down below. If you could smack that like button for me, you know it really helps me out. And you know what? I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace!